My name is Matasia Willis, and this is my presentation on the philosophical journey. So the three questions that I had this week were: one, how can I as a teacher know the difference between good, better, and best knowledge? Two, how can I focus my teaching on my students' lives so they can change their life? And what knowledge will create a desire for students to let go of their past and embrace their future? So for the first question, how can I as a teacher know the difference between good, better, and best knowledge? One of the students directed me to Elder Oak's talk, Good, Better, and Best. And he talked a lot about how in the church we need to focus on the family. And so that really stood out to me that as educators, sometimes the assignments we give our students actually detract from the family, because students can spend hours and hours and hours doing homework and they're not developing those needed relationships with their family members. And so as teachers, I think we need to give assignments that actually allow students to be with their family and to create bonds that are going to bless them not only now in this life, but as we know through eternity. And so maybe an assignment such as just discuss this with your parents, or as a family discuss this, or for students who maybe don't have the best home life or who may be in a foster situation, they can still use it as a way to get to develop relationships with the other children in the home. The next thing is, does the education allow them to change? Does it help them understand that, allow them to act on that knowledge to become a better person? And I think of Sister Pierce's talk when she said in preparing lessons that we need to ask, what do I want my students to do as a result of this lesson? And so I need to ask that question for each of my lessons of, will my students want to act in such a way that they apply what they're learning? Because if they're not acting, then it's not learning. They're just being spoon-fed information. For question 2, how can I focus my teaching on my students' lives so they can change their life? One of the things we had in my group discussion was the fact that you really need to rely on the Spirit, because Heavenly Father knows what each of His children need, and He knows their needs. You don't know your students' home life, but through the Spirit you can know what He would have you teach, and really what it is your students need what hope they may need in their life, or just the specific thing they need. And also we need to teach to our students and not just lessons. It can be hard as an educator, I think, to not get concerned with numbers, but simply really focusing on, are they changing? Are they really better than they were now than they were at the start of the year? And question 3 is, what knowledge will create a desire for students to let go of their past and embrace their future? And I think something is we have to let them understand they have the ability to change. And teaching the atonement without necessarily teaching the atonement, and allowing them to know that you really can change no matter what has happened in your life. You can let it go, you can break the chains and have a better life than you imagined. And I think the last thing is to teach true knowledge, and true knowledge is things that are affecting our character, and really focusing on the character and who we can become. And we know in the church that we're meant to become as little children, and those qualities of Christ we need to develop. And so as we focus on those things, our students, I think, will have the desire to change. And so this is what I've learned this week in my philosophical journey discovery. So thank you for watching.